welcome to my channel. All of the things that I declutter in this video will probably be going up on my Depop, which I will link down below. So if you are interested in anything, then make sure to go and check that out down below. Also, my social media accounts like my Twitter and my Instagram will also be linked down below, so go and check them out as well. Hope you enjoy and thank you for watching. So here are all of my highlighters that I've been collecting for about a year or so, and I have decluttered some already, so I don't really have too many at the moment, but I think I would like to get rid of at least half. Yeah, about half of these I'd like to get rid of. So I think I'm going to start off with the Strobe Genius by NYX. Now this one is alright. It's not my favourite at all, however, sometimes I will apply these highlighters underneath my other highlighters. It's kind of like a base, and it seems to work well for me, so I think I'm going to keep this one. Next up, got my Sleek Makeup, which is the Distorted Dreams 1030 palette, and I got this one pretty recently, I think. So about a month ago I got this one. Now this one isn't very pigmented either, it's kind of more of a colourful highlight palette, but I really like this one and I think it'll be really good for festivals and concerts and things like that. And the creams are actually really nice, so I think I'm going to be keeping this one. So next up I've got the Strobe highlighter by Makeup Revolution, and this one's in the shade Flash. Now I really like this one, and it has it's like I've got a green kind of shift to it, which you can't really tell from here. And I do really like this one, however, I don't really use it. So I think I'm going to be passing this one along. The Pure Luxe Powder Highlighter Golden Rose from Autograph, which is an M&S brand. And I got this one thinking it wouldn't be very good, and it'd probably be too dark for my really pale skin. But I actually really love this one. It is kind of in between natural and blinding. It's kind of, I don't really know how to describe it, but it's really pretty and it's really soft and buttery, and it's just such a nice highlighter for the price as well. So I'm definitely keeping this one. And this one is one of my depotted Carly Bybel ones from the BH Cosmetics range that she collaborated with, and these highlighters are really pretty, and I used to use this one for an eyeshadow, which is really dark, but I just don't really get use out of any of these anymore. I used to absolutely love them, but I don't reach for them anymore, so I'm definitely going to get rid of these ones. This one is the Instant Glow by 17, and it's a shimmer brick, and it's kind of like a shimmery bronzer, but you could also use the top shades or the bottom shades depending on your skin tone as a highlighter. And I've loved this one and I've hit pan on it, but I don't reach for this one anymore at all really. So I think I might get rid of this one. However, it's pretty battered, so I think I might just give it to my sister. And then I have this, which is actually an eyeshadow, but because I've got such pale skin, I used to use this as a highlighter. And this is in the shade 01 Snowflake. And this one is such a pretty colour, however, I just don't use it, so I'm then getting rid of this one. Next up I've got the Unicorn's Heart highlighter by I Love Makeup, which is sold on Tan Beauty. And this packaging is amazing, even though mine is really grubby. What's new? And it's a rainbow highlighter, and I only use these two shades here, these two shades mixed together. I don't use these shades, however, I think they'd be great for a festival. And this one is probably my all-time favourite highlighter palette, and it's the highlighting palette I can't even say it, Solstice. And it's got 4 different shades in it, 3 powders and 1 cream. And as you can see, they've been very well used. But I don't use the cream, really, but I absolutely love these 3 shades, especially this one. And they're very blinding, and for the price, it's just, you can't really beat that. So and then yeah, last but not least, I've got my Jeffree Star highlighter in Lavender Snow, which is my only one from his collection so far. However, I absolutely love this one. It is kind of going a bit hard pan on top of it, which is a bit annoying. I love how blinding and the colour of it, so I'm definitely going to be keeping this one. So on the right side here, I've got the palettes that I'm keeping. And on the left side I've got the ones that I'm decluttering or selling or just giving away to charity or my sister or something. But I think I've done about half. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 this side and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 this side. So I have done. Are you going to focus or not? Not probably. But the next palette I have is Cargo Cosmetics, and this one is in Shanghai Nights, and it's an eyeshadow palette obviously. But this, come on, focus. There we go. I hate this palette. I hate all of the shades apart from this shade probably. However, the rest of them are just absolutely awful. They're not pigmented at all. They're hard pan, you scrape it and then they hard pan again, and they're just absolutely terrible. So I'm definitely going to get rid of this one. And yeah. And next I have, which is kind of new to my collection, I have the BH Cosmetics Foil Eyes 28 colour eyeshadow palette, which I got from Beauty Bay, I believe. And I love this palette, and it's made me get into bright eyeshadows so much more, and especially these 3 shades here are absolutely amazing, and they're all so pigmented and just beautiful, and oh my god, I love them. So I'm definitely keeping this one about a week ago, and I've already managed to get some acrylic paint on it, so excuse that. But this is my Freedom palette, and it's on sale at the moment at Tam Beauty. And this is Pro Artist Pad Backstage palette. This has basically got everything in it. It's got blushes, shimmery blushes, powder, bronzers and highlighters, and I absolutely love this. The highlights are absolutely insane. Probably like my favourite highlights other than the sleek ones. And the blushes are so pigmented, you have to use such a light hand with them. So I'm definitely going to be keeping this one. Not doing very well so far, I haven't got rid of any, but... So this one is the Sleek The Rockstars Collection Diamonds in the Rough. And this one was a limited edition one, I believe, that came out last Christmas. So this was in, say, about November 2016. And the packaging on this is insane. It's absolutely amazing, the holographic, and it's... I love it. And... it's got 2 cream shades in here and 4 powder shades, and to be honest, I didn't think I'd like the cream shades, but I use them either as a brow bone highlight or I use them underneath these shadows, and they just intensify that pigment even more, and they kind of act like a foiled shadow, and I absolutely love this one, so I highly recommend this one. So I'm definitely keeping this one. And then next up I have the MUA Makeup Academy Professional, I can't even talk today, Professional 6 shade palette in Glamour Golds. And this one's alright, I suppose. It's kind of like, I thought it was going to be really great because I have liked MUA eyeshadows in the past. However, I find some of these a bit kind of like nothingness, if that makes any sense. They kind of not that pigmented, and I've just got so many better eyeshadows. So next up I've got 3 sleek eyeshadow palettes, and I've already got rid of some this year. Come on, focus. There you go. So I don't actually have that many at the moment, but this one is the Goodnight Sweetheart eyeshadow palette, which was limited edition as well. And this one, it looks like this. And my camera doesn't want to focus today. There we go. And I absolutely love this. Like, some of the shadows are absolutely like amazing, and some of them aren't brilliant at all. However, for the price I paid for this and the amount of shadows that are actually really good, it's reasonable and I like this palette, so I'm keeping this one. And then this one is Arabian Nights Smoke and Shadows by Sleek. And this one's kind of the same, I would say, as the last palette. It's kind of like, I don't know, some of the shades are absolutely amazing, but some of them just lack pigmentation, or a bit chunky, but these two colours here on the end.
Hello darkness, my old friend.
Mate, oh my god, I just made a chip out of that one, nice one. But yeah, these two shades here are absolutely amazing, and it's kind of wrong for me to keep this palette for those two shades, but I'm going to, so yeah, keeping this one. And then my last Sleek palette is Ultra Mattes Volume 2, and this one I got last year, I believe, and I think I've only swatched it, to be honest. Like, they're alright, the pigmentation's alright, they are a bit powdery, and the colours are nice, but I don't use it, so I'm going to be getting rid of this one. Next up I have this palette by Makeup Revolution in Redemption Palette Essential Shimmers, and the packaging's already broken on this one. I only got it last year and it's already broken. Pretty crappy, really. But the colours in this are really, really pretty, and I did get quite a bit of use out of this when I first got it, but I just don't reach for this anymore, and I have so many other palettes that contain these colours in. I don't need this one, so I'm going to be getting rid of this one. Love All About the Eyes palette by Collection, and I don't think they sell this one anymore actually. But this one, the pigmentation on this is insane, especially the black eyeshadow and the golds, and I just really like it, but I don't use it, and I don't really know what to do with this one because I like it, but I've tried to get rid of it so many times and then I just get it back out again. But I think I'm definitely going to have to get rid of this one this time and be brave. This one by this one's going to go. It's called because the label's ripped off. Nice. But this one I was only keeping for this shade, which is kind of like a duochrome brownie green, and I used to use that one all the time, but I'm not going to keep this kind of like bulky packaging just for that one eyeshadow, so I'm going to be getting rid of this one. Next up I have this one by Makeup Revolution, and it's the Ultra Professional Eyeshadow Palette, Flawless Palette, and it's pretty hefty. That's a word. And I used to love this one before I kind of got more eyeshadow palettes, but are you going to focus today or not? There we go. About time. The palette, like the mattes aren't very good in here, and a lot of the shimmers aren't. The only shadows that are kind of really good are these ones. But I think this was £8, so for that it's worth it, to be honest. But I don't use this one, so I'm going to be getting rid of this one. And next up, I know I'm not going to get rid of this one because this is my favourite palette ever, apart from the Morphe ones. But this is the Twilight palette by Model's Own, and I got this for my birthday this year, and I wasn't expecting much from this at all. But this is absolutely amazing, and it came with a double-ended brush as well. This one, the colours are absolutely amazing, and they're kind of like, the foiled eyeshadows are insane, the mattes are amazing, and I use this really regularly and I just love it, so I'm going to keep this one. Next I have this one, which is Triple Hit, which they used to sell at Superdrug. It's called the Sexy Smoke Eyeshadow Palette, and I've been keeping this one. It's so sad, but I've been keeping this one because I used it for prom about 3 years ago, so I just didn't want to get rid of it because I was the sentimental value, but I think I'm ready to get rid of this one now as I never use it and it could go to a better home, so I'm going to be getting rid of this palette. However, it's a palette, so putting it in here. Oh well. What a rebel. This one is by Makeup Revolution as well, and this one did have a bronzer, but I've used it so much because I loved it. A highlighter and a blusher. Now, I hate the blusher. Hate it, but the highlighter is absolutely amazing. It's so pigmented and blinding and I love it, and the bronzer, as you can tell, I absolutely love, so I'm going to be keeping this till I run out the highlighter, and then I'm going to be chucking it out. This one a few months ago, I believe, and it's by MUA, and it's the Silent Disco eyeshadow palette, and I've been loving colour at the moment on my eyes, and using kind of like oranges and yellows and reds in my transition. And this, if I could actually open it, there we go. Only break 5 nails doing that. But this one is quite powdery, as you could probably tell, it's kind of gone on to the next shade, but this palette is amazing. And I love, it's kind of like a dupe for the NYX Ultimate Brights palette. It's like, how much cheaper is it? About £12 cheaper. And I use this pretty much every day, so I'm going to be keeping this one. This one is the Makeup Academy Professional 5th Birthday palette. And I think I got this quite a while ago actually, but I kept it because of this lavender shade. And I used to use that lavender shade all the time. But I'm not going to keep it anymore just for that one shade. I don't think it's worth it, so I'm going to be getting rid of that one. Even though the shadows are really nice and they're really pretty, I just don't use it, so I'm going to get rid of it. The MUA Makeup Academy, which is kind of like the other trio I had, but just different colours. And this one is in Pink Sorbet. The writing's nice and small. I just don't use this one, as you could tell. I think I've used it once. I don't like it, so next up get rid of that one. The NYX Ultimate Brights palette, which I was talking about a minute ago, but the MUA version of it. And this one I think cost £16, and it is amazing. I use this every single day, especially these colours. I've only had it for a month and I've nearly hit pan on these full colours here. I'm keeping this one. I treat them so well. And then I have Makeup Academy, another one. Undress Me 2 palette. And this one I kind of got, I think this one might be my first ever eyeshadow palette. Like proper eyeshadow palette, but I did used to use it a lot, as you can probably tell. It's a bit battered, but I don't use it anymore. And the shadows, although they are pigmented, they're not amazing. So I'm going to be getting rid of this one. I made this myself. It's kind of just in a Nivea tin. Classy. But this is full of different single eyeshadows and eyeshadows that I've depotted. So it's got, around the edge it's got Carly Bybel eyeshadows, which I wish I hadn't have depotted because a lot of them broke. And I thought I'd reach for it more in this, but I don't at all. And I've also got a Stila eyeshadow there. I've got 17 eyeshadows there. And more Stila. I've got a Kiko eyeshadow there. And I just don't use this at all. I never reach for this. And I'm going to be getting rid of this. Redemption Palette Iconic 1. And I've had this one before and I've already got rid of it. So I'm going to be getting rid of this one again. I did try it out again to see whether I would change my mind, but I didn't, and I'm going to give it away to a better home. And then I've got this one, which was a tester as well, and this one is the Mermaid versus Unicorns palette. I don't know how much use I'm going to get out of this, but I haven't really played around with it much, and I haven't tested it out before, so I'm going to be keeping this one for now. But I don't know whether I'm going to like it or not. But I'll keep an open mind, so that one's going to be staying. And the next one is from L'Oreal, and it's the Le Palette Nude. What? Le Palette Nude. In 02 Beige. There we go, that's what it's in. And these are nice. The mattes are really good. Not the best I've ever used, but they're really good. And the shimmers aren't good at all, really. But I'm going to keep this one because it's great for travelling and it's compact and it's just nice. So I'm going to keep that one. I have this one by Bourjois, and it's the Palette Le Nudes by Bourjois, obviously. And I swatched these in the shop and they were amazing and the pigmentation was great and I just had to get it. But on the eyes they don't really work that well, and the colour combination kind of doesn't inspire me at all, so I'm going to be getting rid of this one. Last, I have my Morphe palette in 350. It's probably my favourite palette that I've got out of all of them. And I use this pretty much every single day alongside my NYX Ultimate Brights one. And this one is pretty well used, as you can see. But the colours in this are just amazing. And ever since I've got this palette, I have wanted to use bright colours a lot more and oranges. And I brought this one when I went to Amsterdam with me, and I was scared that it was going to get broken, but it didn't. So it is big, but it's good for travelling if you want to create a load of different looks, but just with one palette. So I am definitely going to be keeping this one, and I absolutely love it, and I can't wait to get more Morphe shadows. So if you know any of them, or if you use them, recommend me your favourite Morphe shadow palettes in the comments down below. I'm getting rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm getting rid of 13 palettes in total. And I am keeping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm getting rid of that one as well, so that makes another one. 10, 11, 12, so I'm keeping 12. So I'm getting rid of more than I've actually got now. So I'm very pleased with that, considering I didn't think I was going to be able to get rid of any. So yeah, they're the ones I'm keeping, and the ones that